So let's just take a moment to bring Mother into the space. Everybody that's here has a mother. Each of us grew inside the body of our mother. That's a gift. That's a gift that someone surrendered their body so that we may move into this physical world. And anyone who has been a mother or has been present at a birth, whether it was the birth of a human being or a birth of an animal, that is no picnic to bring life into this world the way it's set up. And to be carried around for 9 months, to grow as a spark inside the body and be held in that loving space. So let's all just take a moment to imagine that place of darkness, of comfort, of no thought, just that loving warmth and support of that body which nurtures you with all the nutrients, all the warmth, all the energy, all the love that allows you to move to the point where out you come. And then to be nurtured again with that love and that care, and that for many of us, that nourishment that comes right from the mother's body. And I think those of you who have been mothers, and I'm just talking secondhand because I have not been one, at least not in this lifetime. But those of us who have been mothers know the hormonal changes that go on. How it's not just your physical body and we talked about ego mind the past couple of Sundays here, how that energy, that spirit that's beyond our ego mind comes in and sends hormones, sends energy through our body, that you can feel the changes going on as you begin to prepare for this child. I hear that this nesting instinct comes up around the 7th or 8th month. Just this energy begins through you, that mothering energy. And we see it and feel it in the springtime. So it's no accident that Mother's Day comes in the spring as everything is starting to come to life again. The animals, there's kittens and puppies around and baby raccoons and skunks and flowers start to bloom. All this life starts to spring forth. The fruits begin to, or the trees begin to bear fruit. So it's all around us, this area, this energy of mothering, of nurturing life, of bringing forth life, of creativity. And we have those energies, those spiritual symbols of the mother. We talked about it today. Mother Earth has her own energy. We saw it in the songs, in the beautiful pictures and images that Marvin puts towards the music. We felt it and sang it in the words that Millie wrote. Colleen wrote. Sorry. Millie, Colleen. Get name tags. No. Yeah. That Colleen wrote, absolutely. And that's the creative spirit moving through. That creative spirit comes from the mother, that mothering energy. We have it in our Christian tradition of Mary, the Mother of God, the Mother of Jesus, which interestingly enough, she really didn't come forward until Christianity began to move into some of these native communities, the native places, and they realized that these people needed a mother energy because so much of their spirituality was about the earth. It was connected into that feminine energy. So the church hierarchy in their wisdom said, we need a mother here. We need some female energy. So they went back to Mary. And I know for so many Christians, that is a very, very powerful and necessary connection to their spirituality, that idea of the all-loving mother. We see it in other places. One of my favorite female or mothering energies is Pele. When I went to Hawaii, they talked about that a lot, and I could feel this energy. And this is a mother that is not just loving and embracing. This is a mother of fire who comes forth with that creative energy of the volcano that actually creates new land for us to live in and washes away everything that's not necessary anymore. So there's the powerful energy connected with the mother as well. And I want to share a couple of mother stories with you. One of them is my good friend Lenora, who she keeps promising to come up with me, and she will one day. But she was one of the first mothering energies who embraced me when I moved to San Francisco. I met her at Unity of San Francisco. We were partnered up in a workshop that we were doing on Saturdays. And I just felt immediately this energy that welcomed me. She embraced me in the church. She encouraged me to become more of a part of it. She's the one that encouraged me to apply for the board when they were looking for a board member. And so she took me under her mothering wing, and I felt that energy. And after I'd known her for a while, she began to share stories about her own boys, and part of the reason I think we got together is because she'd just been in that point where she let go of her children. They'd gotten to the point where they were off to college, and I know any mothers out there who have gotten to that point where the kids move on, it's a big change. Once again, it's another energetic thing where you have to find another way to express that nurturing, loving energy. So I was fortunate enough to be the result of some of that. And she shared with me one day a story of her sons. When she went to pick them up one day at after school, they'd gone after school to some, I forget exactly what it was, but they were in an area that wasn't necessarily that great of an area in San Francisco, and they got mugged when she was on her way to pick them up. Other kids had basically come up to them that they didn't know and said, "Give me your wallet," and had run off. And she pulled up right after it happened, and they told her what happened. And her mothering instinct was, we're going to find those kids. And she got in her car and drove around, and tuning into that, and I think those mothers among us know that there's a divine energy that comes in when you're taking care of your kids. She found the kids, grabbed them, and I thought she was going to turn them into the police or something, and she stopped her car. Lenora, she's bitty. Jumped out of her car, grabbed the kids, gave it to them, and said, "You have to be careful, you stupid kids, because if you do something like that, you're going to either run into someone who's going to pull out a gun and stab you, or you're going to end up in prison, and that's the last place you wanted to be." So as she told the story, I realized that she wasn't only taking care of her own kids, she was taking care of those other kids who are, she was like, stop doing this. And who knows if what she did helped those other kids. We know that it helped her two boys because they got to see how someone steps forward and becomes the loving mother and takes care of everyone in the situation. But I would be willing to bet that those other kids that took the wallets from her sons, probably that event is something that affected them for their lives. Here's this person who cared about their higher good and stopped them in their tracks. The other energy or mother story that I want to share comes from the animal kingdom. And, we all know that mothering energy is fierce. It's fierce. One of the favorite things for me to do is watch my nature stories, and to see the mother lion taking care of her cubs, to see that it is the female lion who basically does most of the hunting. It's that female energy that goes out and makes it happen and creates it. And we all know that probably if we look at our own families. It's the mother who stays home and not only raises the kids, but does all these things, and with the advent of women's lib, also now in most households goes out and also works. So it's this powerful, powerful energy. We see that mama energy, that energy expressed in so many places. We see in the African American community, even these people who were taken from their natural homes and forced to work as slaves, that energy of the mammy, the woman who in spite of everything came in and was this source of love, was this source in spite of the drama and trauma that they had been through. She comes out in our history as a very powerful, loving energy. And I saw it very powerfully in my cat, Aretha, when she had her first litter of kittens. And I was sitting outside on my front porch one day, sitting in the sun, and this big Rottweiler came running down the street. And I didn't even realize Aretha was nearby, but she burst through the, and he came up right up onto our property. She burst through the little cat door, and as soon as the dog saw her, he started going after her. And she, because she had those kittens inside, she arched her back and became 3 times her size. I mean, it was unbelievable. Every hair on her back stood up. She turned to the side, jumped towards the dog, and he tried to stop because he immediately knew this is not something around. But he was going so fast, he didn't have time to stop. She's up on her hind legs, and that dog was gone. And then she turned around, sort of shook herself loose, went inside, and I went inside where she was. She was in there nursing her babies. And it was such a powerful example of motherhood. And another example of motherhood is my own mom. I'm playing with some kids, and we had an up the street neighbor who was kind of a bully. He was kind of a bully, and we were playing out on the lawn one day, and his younger brother came up and wanted to play too. And so the older brother said, no, you can't play, and he was just being a stinker, and he got his brother's arm on his back, saying, you're too young to play with us, go home. My mother was suddenly out the door, grabbing this kid with his arm behind his back and said, how do you like it with someone bigger than you? Said, you can play with us, and she got us together in a group, and we played for the rest of the day. I don't know what kind of psychological scars maybe that other kid got. But for me, it was an indication of that mothering energy that said, no, this isn't fair, and I'm going to make it fair, and I'm going to make your kids work together. So that mother energy is so powerful. And being a man in this lifetime, I also have to acknowledge that the women in my life and that energy is present in me sometimes. And so I want to let all the men here really know and acknowledge you that if you look in your life, and even the women here who have not been mothers, you know that there are times in your life, when we talked about it some in the opening meditation, when that loving, mothering energy has moved through us, when you've taken care of a sick friend, when you've nursed maybe a baby animal that you found, when you've maybe just taken care of yourself when you needed a certain amount of loving care and attention. So it's an energy that exists in all of us, and it's an energy that when we allow it, it's healing. It not only heals the people around us, but it heals us. I think and I hope that we felt that when we did the opening meditation this morning, where we really went into that feeling and allowed it to move through us. And what I want to invite everyone to do right now is to open to the truth that this Mother Earth is always embracing us in that energy. We saw it in these pictures that Marvin put up that ended when it was the woman, who's the woman who wrote the song? Not Pauline.
Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie. Her first song was just really a love song to Mother Earth. And we can experience it on a day like today. That the Earth literally created this atmosphere as well. Whatever this living life is that's present on this miracle of planet that we live on, the different chemicals and things and life force that came forth, the plants that grew, created this invisible air that we breathe, which is supporting us, nurturing us. How long would we last without the breath? Not long. So it's there. We're supported in every moment by this loving mother energy. So on this Mother's Day, I want to take a moment in this sacred place, this beautiful church, which also, the house in dreams, when you dream about a house, they say it's the mother. It's that protecting, loving energy. So let's breathe into and feel that support. It's all around. Let's honor it. Let's honor Mother today. And in honoring Mother, let's do some ohms to feel that vibration as it moves through us. How many of us had a mom who sang a lullaby to us when it was time to go to sleep? That energy of the vibration moving through. So I don't have a lullaby to sing. I suppose I could make up what I am actually going to sing at the end. There's a song that I really wanted to share with you. But to help us to come into that vibration, let's feel that Om, and we're going to feel it moving through us, but I want to also allow you to feel yourself in the vibration that we're all going to share. So we'll just take a deep breath and just Om. It's just a sound. Let it flow through you. Feel it vibrating through you. Let's send mothering, loving energy to wherever that siren is heading. Send some peace and love to them. And let's just be in that Om space, and then we're just going to sit for maybe 30 seconds, for a minute afterwards, and just be in that loving, mothering energy as we feel it vibrating through each of us. So deep breath. And just notice what you're feeling with. That mother energy, it has to do with feeling. It's not really a thinking energy, it's a feeling energy. Through touch, warmth, comfort, vibration. One of the things we feel when we're in the room is the vibration of our own mother's voice and of the people talking around us through that fluid which vibrates through us. The sound of our mother's voice, the touch of her hand. On the way up we were listening to a book that I got on tape, which was very interesting. And they were talking about the five senses. And they also talked about the other senses that we don't really hear about. And we think of course, the sixth sense, that, that sense where we intuit things, which certainly women's intuition is part of that mother energy, that sense that's beyond the five senses. But another one they talked about, which isn't one of the sixth sense, which are kind of those etheric senses. It was a basic one that, he gave us a chance as he was reading the book to guess what it was. And I didn't come up with it. Does anyone have an idea of what that other sense might be? Besides hearing, touch, taste, sight. Not the sixth sense. There's another sense that has to do with our physicality and our connection to our physical world.
Smell.
No, smell, that's one of the five. I didn't say it.
Yeah. I don't know if this is right, but it's just a knowing. Often, us human beings will just have a knowing.
Yeah, and that's absolutely, and that's that sixth sense. It's not that sixth sense, it's one that's definitely connected to our physicality and our body.
Is it like having the sense of where you are in place and like knowing where your arm is? And
well, close. It's the sense of balance.
A balance, okay.
Balance. And it was very powerful for me coming up here to be with the congregation on Mother's Day, because that sense of balance being a yoga teacher, that has to do with gravity and our connection to Mother Earth. So the sense of balance is literally a relationship. It's a relationship, whereas opposed to the other five senses are really just feeling things. Balance is our relationship to the Divine Mother, to this mothering energy which is supporting us all the time. So as you move through the week, I want you to be aware of your sense of balance, because it also connects us with that other powerful, loving energy, which is the gift that our mother gives us by allowing us to move through her. She's actually giving us a part of her body, which is our own body. So our own bodies not only connect us to our mother, they connect us to all humanity, they connect us to the planet. So that idea of separation, which we humans have kind of been really focusing on for many, many thousands of years, that idea that we're separate, which we learn from Unity and some of our other spiritual teachings, that is just not true. I invite you this week to really be in the experience of it, to let go of the concept of, one power, one presence, but to really feel through your body, through that energy of balance, which is always connecting you to the earth, and you're being able to navigate through this time and space reality, that it's part of us. It's an umbilical cord that connects us. And as you breathe into it, allow yourself to feel that loving, mothering energy that's always around us. I don't think I can ever get through a Unity talk without using our tenet, which is in here. One power, one presence active in our life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And that energy of Mother is our physical experience, always, in this body, of that one power, one presence. That we, while we're in that body, are that one power, that one presence. And it does connect us with everything around us. Anything you can see or you can imagine, you're connected with, either physically or through this imagination, this energy. So, to finish up today, I want to share with you a song that is from a Broadway show, and it's about Mom. It's called Mama a Rainbow. And the musical didn't really get that popular, but when I first moved to New York, my best friend actually was my partner for a while. He was a Broadway fanatic. He loved Broadway musicals. He had every Broadway record ever made. And so I got to learn a lot of Broadway music that I never would have heard otherwise. And there's some wonderful gems, even in these shows that nobody ever heard of. This was a show about the Marx Brothers, not Karl Marx and his brothers. The funny ones, Harpo and Chico and Groucho. I think there was one other too.
Yeah. Zeppo.
Zeppo, there we go. So there were a lot of them.
Yeah.
And it was basically about their mom. It was called Minnie's Boys. And Minnie was their mother, who I think was a single mother, who raised them on their own. They did not have a lot of money. And this song comes in the show when suddenly they realized it was their mother's birthday and they'd all forgotten, and they really didn't have any money to buy her anything, anyway. So Harpo sings her this song. What do you give to the woman who has given all her life and love to you? What do you give to the reason you are living? I could window shop the world before I'm through. Mama, a rainbow. Mama, a sunrise. Mama, the moon to wear. That's not good enough, no, not good enough, not for Mama. Mama, a palace, diamonds like doorknobs, piles of gold to share. That's not rich enough, no, not rich enough, not for Mama. Mama, a lifetime crowded filled with laughter. That's not long enough, no, not long enough. What can I give you that I can give you? What should your present be? Mama young and beautiful, always young and beautiful, that's the mama I'll always see. That's for Mama with love.